Hello, my wonderful friends. It's been a very good day. We just finished recording our podcast, episode 4. It's called Mother-Daughter Chronicles. It's linked in the description on Spotify and YouTube currently. Reading the double from this collection, and then I'm going to go and read Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky. Today's quotes. Not only wanted to escape from himself, but even hide from himself, to be utterly annihilated, to exist no more and turn to dust. It's actually very chilly out right now, and there's like the coldest breeze coming in my room, and it's making me really happy. I used to be a summer girly through and through, and I hated every other season. Now I'm obsessed with the fall, and I love being cozy, like this little matching tracksuit right now, and having a nice tea. I had a tea while we were filming, and I love the fall vibes now. I think since finding classics and loving reading, I've enjoyed the cozy weather even more because I love just being wrapped up in a blanket and being warm and reading. My dream in life is to have an indoor fireplace where I can read in front of, and I love the crackling of the fire and I love the warmth. To what length malice can drive a man sometimes, to what extremes an embittered enemy can sometimes go to avenge his honor and pride. I actually read a decent amount of this story. Kind of. Mentally evince the desire for the earth to swallow him up or to hide away in a mouse hole, courage and awe. Those are some of the quotes from today. I got a decent amount of reading done. I found the best way to annotate a book that I've ever seen. I found it on TikTok, and I'm gonna credit her because thank you so much to her, and I think her teacher, Mr. Ramos or something, taught her this. But you basically underline your quote, and then at the back of the book you write down the theme. So you could say like human morality, love, whatever it is, and then you write under each section the page number, because there's so many times I want to look for a quote and I can't remember which part in the book it was. But if you have this sort of map at the back of your book, then you can be like, okay, that's a quote about love I'm thinking of that I want to find. I can just go and search through those page numbers. Or if you're just looking for quotes about love, there you go, you have it all laid out. So yeah, that was like the coolest thing ever. And also, look what came in the mail. Crime and Punishment. My mom and I are going to read this one as a book club, which I'm very excited for because this is obviously, as someone who enjoys classics, I keep making the joke like it's a crime that I haven't read this one yet, and diving into the world of Dostoevsky lately is amazing. I really love his writing style. I might go for a little sunset walk. I've been very strict with my work schedule because I am a workaholic. I would usually edit from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, which is great in terms of productivity, but honestly it's not that productive because then you end up with burnout and then nothing gets done. So now I'm really trying. Today I edited for I think 5 or 6 hours, and then I read, and then I did this podcast, and now I might like watch The Office or something. I don't usually watch TV, but I'm trying to watch TV sometimes in the place of scrolling, or if I'm not in the mood to read. I think scrolling is just frying my brain, and at least TV is a little bit less intense. TikTok is just scroll, 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 and it's fast content, and I find shows at least a little bit slower paced. And I saw this guy make a video about how funny it is now that we watch TV for a slow pace, whereas back in the day parents used to say, stop watching so much TV, you'll fry your brain, and now it's like our way to try and slow our brains and not consume content so rapidly. What else is on my to-do list? I wanted to start going through this one bin of mine, so maybe we could do that together because I really did want to get that done today. I have a Nintendo 64 with Donkey Kong, like the yellow game thing. What is that called? Not a disc, obviously. I don't know. What do you call that? Anyways, that was my favorite game growing up. Honestly, probably still is. My brother and I would always play it, and then I played it a lot in high school, and then on and off. I think when I broke my leg, I probably played it a bit, but it still works, and it works on my TV here in my room. It's crazy how technology now breaks constantly, but then this Nintendo 64 from who knows when, the 90s, still works in 2024. Like, things were just made to last a little bit better, I think. Have you ever seen your grandparents have a fridge that's like 40 or 50 years old? It's like twice your age and it still works perfectly. And now I think we've had 4 fridges in the last few years. They just kept leaking and breaking. A little bit of red wine. Cheers. Don't forget to be grateful for something today. Name 3 things you're grateful for. Today, when I was eating breakfast, I was eating really fast. And I thought, why am I eating so fast? Some people don't get to have food or have access to food the way I do, so I should really enjoy it. Also sitting out in the sun today, and I was grateful for the cold breeze. And I'm grateful for the people in my life. And my mom just texted me dinner is ready, so I'm grateful for that too, because that's one of my favorite texts to receive. I told myself I would go through this bin so I can put this stuff in there, so let's do it and hold myself accountable. All these pictures from my friend's wedding. They're so cute. This copy of Pride and Prejudice, though. How stunning. This copy of the picture of Dorian Gray. If you ever want to figure me out as a person, I feel like my room just does that. The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, a must-read. And whales are my favorite animals. And Simon and Garfunkel record, because they're also one of my favorites. This is my newest guitar. I love her very much. Her name is Dolly, after Dolly Parton. Okay, this lighting is overhead lighting and horrific. Put all my memory stuff in one of these big white bins here that I'm going to go through. This one's full of old clothes that I think I could afford to get rid of. But I have a bunch of memory stuff in here. This is the book full of acting accomplishments and music that my mom made me. A new life book. French grammar course. If you didn't see me go through these, I will link it in the eye where I went through all of my Polaroids and organized them into here, and I give a little backstory onto them. Someone I work with went to Disney and brought me back this little cupcake Minnie Mouse thing. Went to a small play recently, and this was the ticket. The first script I ever had for a feature film, so my mom and I got it bound, and I showed up to set with this. My mom was about to throw this out recently, and I was like, no, let me keep it. And that is the stencil that I've always wanted tattooed on me. For Valentine's Day one year, my mom plastered all of these hearts around my door to my room, and it's just affirmations and really nice things. Every year we do Secret Santa with the acrobats that are in my show. So we have singers, dancers, and acrobats, and we all do Secret Santa, and this is some of the wrapping paper from my gift. This is how sentimental I am, I swear, of my dog. If you've been on this channel, you probably know about my tibial plateau fracture, which was a very long recovery, and I'm still dealing with it to this day, and I will for the rest of my life. But I broke it at my friend's cottage, and so her grandparents just felt so bad that it happened there because they have a cottage right next to hers. And so they basically got me this pack of cards, and it was like, "Hi Meg, I saw these at the Native Friendship Center in Vancouver, and I thought you would appreciate the art even if you don't have a lot of use for notes," which is so funny because all I do is write notes and letters, and I'm very much about the tangible things. So this was a very cute note from my friend Carolyn's grandma, and I ended up using it to write a lot of people notes. Just putting it in this book that I thrifted, but I'm going to go through and organize all of it. When I released my first single, my family put Easy to Miss on these records, and it was one of the things on the wall. A fracture clinic forms are notes that I took, so I've always annotated my books, and then I used to actually type them out, and then I would actually read them on my channel. I definitely still have art videos up of me doing resin and reading these out. My mom knew that Mumford & Sons as a genre isn't really my style, but she wanted me to appreciate their lyrics at least, so she printed a bunch of them off and then highlighted them for me, the ones that she especially liked. And I just found a bunch of old journals, old iPhones. I designed my prom dress completely from scratch and had it custom made. It's one of my favorite things to this day, and I chose this belt to go around the middle. See if it'll focus on it. I'm not sure if that's focused or not, but it's just so stunning. This tin is already full, so I'm gonna have to go thrift another one. My mom brought me this bag from Mexico. I love pink and I love skulls, but it broke and it won't stay together now, so it's gonna have to go in a memory bin. This was hanging on the mirror of my car for so long, and I no longer have that car. This one guy I'm still friends with to this day got me Brickleberry on DVD a long time ago because it was our favorite show to watch together. Back in the day, we used to have to make CDs to listen to mixed stuff, so my mom would make me these CDs and put magazine cutouts on it. I have an Andy Warhol book and a Mark Ryden book. Mark Ryden is one of my absolute favorite visual artists of all time. If I could ever get cover art for a song done by Mark Ryden, I'll know I've made it. I'm selling my art recently at a market. The plane ticket for when I went on vacation with my mom, my aunt, and her daughter. Teen candle, because that is my favorite food, along with sushi. See, you can downsize so much if you actually organize your stuff into a book. Like, this was scattered everywhere and took up so much room in my bins. This is the script from my first time I was ever on set. Fun fact, I actually booked my first ever audition. The first audition I ever submitted, I booked. And I was like, okay, this has to be a sign from the universe, because people usually say that it takes so many auditions to get a role. But then it was kind of crickets after that for a while, so take your wins. I love getting disposable cameras, so these are the physical copies. Other thing from the Secret Santa with the acrobats, because we start off with little presents and then we get the big one at the end, which we usually do on the last day, or I think on the last day, maybe the day before we finish the contract. And so I got a little stocking, and then I would check it when I came into work, and every couple of days there'd be like a little something in there. As you get to know each other, you can kind of figure out what the person likes. So I started getting like art pencils and stuff in here because they realized I was an artist. So it's really cute. I think it's such a sweet idea, and I hope we do it again this year. One of the dancer baked us all cookies that are our exact costume. So we each got a custom cookie. One of my favorite movies and also one of my favorite shows. A wristband from Rhythms of the Night, which was when I was in Mexico, and you got on this boat and you went to this island that had no electricity, no cell service. We watched a circus show, and it was one of the best circus shows I've ever seen in my life, and you're just in the middle of the jungle. It was so cool. I was gonna start collecting these every time I go to a wedding. Meg, vegan. My friend Francesca performed at this festival, and so this is the wristband from it, and she actually just released a song with Jessie, my producer slash friend, called Fly on the Wall. Please go check it out. I will link it down below. They are incredible. I love listening to them sing together, and they're both just the most beautiful souls. One year for Halloween, my mom got me this Nightmare Before Christmas countdown to Halloween calendar, and inside it had little plastic figurines of different like horror movie characters, and I've always wanted to make resin earrings out of them because they're just so cute. They're like just these little figurines of ghosts, Frankenstein, or villains from horror movies. I don't know if I did this intentionally, but the 13th is my birthday, so cute. One of my favorite songs of all time is The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, so my mom had the lyrics printed on this pillowcase for me.